Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
Now we
ma'am.
are
How are you?
now we are spin on live.
I think there is so much of net issues. Suddenly it
Hello,
is
good evening,
dropping.
everyone.
Shall I start?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Institute of Rural Professionals. Today, I am the host of this webinar, Salma, head of ambassador, and our next and the host Chetna from the India. Thank you for all for joining and stay with us till the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. I would like to welcome you all to this Institute of Rural Professionals pre-webinar. And once again, I am Salma, member of IGP and also head of ambassador in IGP from Bangladesh. Every day, some new participants join with us, so I have to give a little concept about IGP, Institute of Rural Professionals. So, for student, community, and research providing holistic mission and education for creative professional generation. Global Professional Institute of Global Professional is an education institute to provide social work. So, we believe that it is not effective to increase one's skill just acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. So in this time, each time you can like and comment in our webinar. Don't forget to tag your friends and mention your friends in our comment box. So let's start our program with IGP's mantra, feed your skill. Today, we are presenting the webinar 109 on multidisciplinary research on social science and Islamic entrepreneurship with three speakers, Ramadan Razali, Almira Ulfa, and Sufyan Suri from Indonesia. Our first speaker Today, our first speaker is Amira Ulfa. She is a lecturer and a secretary of the Islamic Economic Law Department in Faculty of Sharia State Institute of Islamic Religion as Indonesia. She received her MIC and AK from State University Sharia Kuala Bandar as in Indonesia in 2015 and 2013. She became an accounting lecturer in 2016. Before becoming a lecturer, she served as chief accountant at PT Sharp Electronics Indonesia in ACEH branch. She has served as secretary on the accounting department at the Puratraja Polytechnic. So please give a warm welcome to our first speaker.
Hello, Mom. Can you hear me?
Hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for introducing me. Okay. Mr. Ramadan, can you share my PowerPoint, please? Because I joined with my mobile phone. My laptop has a trouble, so I cannot join with my laptop. So I'm joining with my mobile phone. Mr. Ramadan, please share my PowerPoint. Oh, Mr. Ramadan, can you hear my voice so clearly, Mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I will talk about growing and strengthening the entrepreneurship in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Of the, I will talk about growing and strengthening the entrepreneurship in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, next slide, please, Mr. Ramadan. Okay, we go first with a definition entrepreneurship. What are the definition entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a Entrepreneurship is a process that someone does when he wants to be an entrepreneur. In carrying out this process, you need to anticipate various risks so that you can get a profit. Therefore, one entrepreneur needs to have creative thinking in order to create something new, unique, and useful for many people. In the words of entrepreneurship, you will find main characteristics. Can you slide next slide, please, Mr. Ramadan? Okay, one, in the words of entrepreneurship, you will find four main characteristics, namely one, the main characteristic economic activity. What the economic activity? The economic activity is the main characteristics of entrepreneurship in the existence of economic activity. The entrepreneurial process involves the design, launch, and activity of running a new business with the aim of making a profit. These efforts are carried out by utilizing the available resource optimally. Number two, creativity and innovation. What's the creativity and innovation? In entrepreneurship, involve finding new ideas and implementing them in business. You need to have a creative minded to do this. Moreover, to search for new ideas need to be done regularly, along with evaluation efforts on the business model that is being used. The ultimate goal is to run the business more effectively and efficiently. Number three is profit. What's the profit? Profit as a part of economic activity. Entrepreneurship is a carry out by setting a profit goal. The profit earned is also one of the rewards for the effort and risk that have been borne by entrepreneurs. Number four, take the risk. Why is take the risk? Because taking risk into account is an important event that is always present in the entrepreneurial process. The risk arises because of the idea of implementation of new method is business activity. The implementation sometimes goes as desired. However, it is possible that you will be faced with big losses. Next slide, please, Mr. Ramadan. Okay. Impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. What's the impact? The impact of the current outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic is felt in many countries as well as in Indonesia. Almost all provinces in Indonesia experience significant change due to this outbreak. Not only Indonesia, but other countries too is even have an impact of the pandemic COVID-19. One of the effective aspects is economic activity. the in the pandemic COVID-19 have impacted in economic is there are four sectors that almost disperses due to coronavirus or COVID-19. Namely, is like households, macro, small, medium enterprise, corporation, and the financial sector. Economic growth is also predicted to contract. Also, employee of company or factory have been laid off until an uncertain time when in ends. We don't know when the COVID-19 is ending. Nobody knows about that. But of course, many of them are still waiting for confirmation whether they can still work as usual or surrender to the current condition. But the needs of family life must continue. The business sector, such as medium, small, macro enterprise, has not been spared the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Apart from regulation from the central and regional governments, business actors are reluctant to reduce their activity and even close their place of business to earn a living for their family. How big is the problem caused by COVID-19? Because of many parties is profit and dependent in the sector. Of course, this problem cannot be borne by the government alone, but there needs to be mutual awareness of all parties so that the national economy can bounce back. The applicable large-scale social rotation, or in Indonesia we call it PSBB, requires the student activity to be carried out from home or online. This of course makes the purchasing power of the people decrease drastically because the majority of activity to meet the needs of life are carried out conventionally, especially for poor and vulnerable families who work in the informal sector. However, when the new normal era by the government, this can be seen as an opportunity for the community, especially young people, to become entrepreneurs. So the problem pandemic COVID-19 and the solution is innovative and be creative as well as grow and strengthening the entrepreneurship spirit. Okay, next slide, Mr. Ramadan. Okay. How mature it would be if a nation as people were able to see all this problem wisely, be able to answer challenges, and be strong in facing our threats. One way that is considered quite effective is to grow and strengthen the entrepreneurial spirit, especially among millennials. It is hoped that with the strengthening and of entrepreneurial thinking and action that are increasingly massively, people can live independently and survive. And even in the midst of difficult situations like today, entrepreneurship has a positive impact on an economy and society. One of the most important impacts of entrepreneurship is the provision of jobs. Innovation is the second reason that has a positive impact on economic strength and society in the middle of the discourse of the new norm era. Innovation is related to the process of creating something new and helping individuals to work more effectively and efficiently. There are some quotes from someone famous that he talked about the crisis period is not an excuse for young people to be eager to go it on entrepreneur. But the crisis period actually make us challenged to innovate and be creative as best as possible. Take advantage of digital technology and of course maximize the opportunities that are in front of us. Opportunity refer to here are opportunity that arise during and after the crisis. This can be used as an initial idea to open a business that is profit oriented can provide alternative solution to the community after the crisis. For example, a number of business or entrepreneurship that have emerged after the pandemic, such as digital business, fintech, support service, expedient service, health service, nutrition service, and others. For the community, especially young people in the industrial era 4.0, this is the right time for entrepreneurship and having a small or ma- or may or mac, I'm sorry, um, the young entrepreneurship can having macro, medium, small microeconomic because our supporting factor have been facilitated through technology that is currently developing. Through innovation comes novelty that can take the form of new product to the new distribution, like what I said before. New product, for example, do not have to be related to advanced technology because simple product can also present novelty, for example, new flavor in food products. Okay. Next slide, please, Mr. Ramadan. Oh. There are there are three main characteristics of an entrepreneur that can be used as a reference. I'm sorry, I forgot to change with the English, but the site is still with Indonesian language. I forgot to change with the English language. Okay. There are three main characteristics of an entrepreneur that can be used as a reference. What? One, have a presence and sharp future of eyesight. Okay, for what? For able to see a business opportunity that may not be seen by others. Can see an amazing dream or vision for the future and express himself. Two, have a motivator and innovator character. For what? For the uh, for the can create and find method to achieve extraordinary dreams and vision, or it can be concludes that an entrepreneur is always motivated and innovative to realize the goals. And three, ready and willing to take any risk. In this format, we must ready and willing to take any risk. Okay, it's we I want to talk about the true entrepreneur is a leader, is a founder or pioneer who has passion, does not give up easily in the face of our challenge. So the pandemic COVID-19 don't make them is give up, right? So they have more uh, uh, they must more has a passion. They must have any any idea, any innovation, and any motivator character. So they can challenge it, all the risk. So the risk. So we can calculate the risk as how firms tend to always dare to move forward. So we can dare the risk. So the entrepreneurship must have ready and willing to take any risk. Okay, next slide, Mr. Ramadan. Next slide, please, Mr. Ramadan. Okay. Seeing the global dynamics that occur, of course, the spirit and mentality of entrepreneurship will be very useful for the Indonesian people and for the other world people. Ahead of the challenge will be much greater, not only health problem, but also global competition that enter our lines of life. This is the right moment for us to build people mentality to be strong and more competitive. So we have more competitive, we have more motivator and innovator to challenge this pandemic COVID-19. Thank you so much.
Hello. Thanks for giving an amazing Almira, and thanks, very thankful to your information regarding this pandemic situation, Almira ma'am. So we are obliged to you for your marvelous presentation and giving for us your valuable time. The session is going to be very effective for our audience because you shared your intelligible knowledge with us. Thanks for enlightening us with our pearls of wisdom and story. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for your precious time and for the Charco block timetable and your knowledge sharing. And it will be effective for our IGP audience because of your valuable timing sharing with the knowledge and the awareness. The awaken the interesting story. I believe you to be able to give a beautiful insight on this topic, and the participant got the most important takeaways from this. Thank you so much, ma'am, giving your valuable time and sharing with us a wonderful evening with the IGP. So, before moving to our next speaker, once again, I want to remind you all, please support us with your like, share, tag, and comment, and mention your friends for your IGP. We will give the e-certificate link in the comment box, and if you will face any kind of problems, your connectivity issue, please collect. Don't forget to collect your certificate from our website, that is www.eduigo.com. And after collecting your e-certificate, please don't forget to celebrate with IGP check-in. Thank you. So next, we'll move on to the next speaker. Next, we'll move on to the next speaker, Ramdan Razali sir. Ramdan Razali sir is a lecturer of IAIN Laxgome College. Besides teaching as a permanent lecturer as an IAIN Laxgome, Ramdan also teaches at several other campuses. Besides writing, the author is also active in several organizations. Among writers, writings are the existence of social justice in Islamic public finance, the revitalization of productive zakat and productive work as poverty alleviation and others. The author is also active in filling in national and international seminars. And today's his topic is creative campus and the implementation on campus. Sir, please do join with us Ramdan Razali sir from Indonesia. Please welcome to IGP, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much to Miss Chet Hannah for giving me the time. All right, everybody. My name is Ramadan. Tonight, I will present my presentation entitled Creative Economy and the Implementation on the Campus. But before I'll explain to you all about how the creative economy implemented on the campus, I will tell you about the theory of the creative economy and what is the creative economy. In the money literature, they said, for example, Valentin Siagian in his book entitled Economics and Business Indonesia, it said that the creative economy is the process of creating, producing, and distributing goods and the service, which in the process require creativity and the intellectual ability. In this case, creativity is really needed in the concept of the creative economy. Creativity is not limited to the manufacture of products, but includes the use of raw material and technological innovation. Reporting from UNTAD, the creative economy or creative economy is an economic concept that is very creative, using ideas, knowledge, and technology to develop the economy, especially in the creative industry. There are at least 14 types of creative industry. For example, the first is namely advertising, architecture, art, craft, design, fashion, media, like film, video, and photograph, interactive games or games, performing art, publishing and printing, software, research and development, music, and as well as broadcasting. Uh, there is a six main characteristic of creative economy. The first is the existence of creative intellectual creativity on the importance of creativity. Therefore, creativity and expertise is in a sector are very much needed and become one of the main characteristic of the creative economy. Easy to replace creation and innovation must continue to be developed in accordance with economic development activities. The goal is to be accepted by the market and useful for consumer. Distribution directly and indirectly, distribution directly or indirectly based on company policies and consumer needs. So I will on Indonesia. I'm sorry, this is by Indonesian language. I took it this data from the Bearcraft. Like we see, the development of performance achievement from over the past 5 years can be concluded as we see. The first is labor absorption has increased every year. The second is export value of creative product for 5 years has not been able to reach the target which is have been set. This indirectly affects with weak creative economic growth. The third, the growth of the creative economy for 5 years has not yet reached target. This is influenced by the weakening national economy. From the diagram above on the screen, it can be seen that the achievement of creative economy (GDP) had declined in 2017, but slowly rise again in the following years. Growth remain below national GDP. Creative economy GDP contributes, which is quite significant to the national GDP. In the in the 2017 and 19, 2019, the export value of Indonesian creative product did not reach the target determined, but with effort made it in 2019, the export value Indonesian creative product exceed the set target. This is inseparable from effort Creative Economy Agency in promoting creative products by facilitating the creative actor to showcase their product in the international areas. Then, how about the America, the creative economy in the America? Architecture and related service is one of the small creative industry in California. This is the data I took that from the California, employing for 48,000 wage and salary workers in 2018, or 5% of total employment in the state's creative industry. Employment in this sector increased 31% from 2030 to 2018, outpacing the creative economy average of 17% and outperforming every other creative sector. This result, like we see, in addition of 11,000 wage and salary workers in the sector statewide. The architecture and related service industry is divided into 5 subsector, like we see. First, architecture service. The second is drafting service. The third is interior design service. The fourth is landscape architecture service. The fifth is ornamental and architecture metalwork manufacturing at maybe around 13,000 wage and salary employees. And how about, like we know, the Republic of Korea is the biggest country that invests in the creative economy. In the Republic of Korea, the culture and the creative industry are known locally as the content industry, have long played a vital role in sustained economic growth. For example, in 1999, the Framework Act on the Promotion of Culture Industries was enacted, laying the groundwork for the development and promotion of the culture and creative industry, both at home and abroad and board. China, the chimneys industry at the time, the CCIs, have now become engines of economic development capable of generating high added value and remain a top priority for the Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism of the Republic Korea. So, like we see, by 2018, offered 600,015 Korean were employed in the culture and creative industry. And the export of Korean culture content was worth over 11 trillion won, or maybe around 9.5 billion US dollar. And the annual growth rates of sales grew at rate 2.575. And from this picture, we can see the creative project that handled by UNESCO amounted to 21 projects with a disbursed fund of 2.7 million US dollar. Other than that, areas that UNESCO focus included Africa, Asia, and Europe. Here we can also see about the project timeline, where the 2008 to 2010 UNESCO focused on the development the country in Mongol and Vietnam. They focus on the building skill, creating network, and sporting policy designs. And And we see in 2010 until 2013, they focus in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. And 2011 to 2014, the UNESCO focused in Burkina Faso and Mongolia and Vietnam. And 2050 to 2018, they focus on the Mongol, Uganda, and Vietnam. And 2016 until 2019, UNESCO focused on the Rwanda and Uzbekistan. 2017 until 2019, they focus on Bangladesh and Pakistan. Then in the past year, in the 2020, they focus on building skills and creating network and sporting policy designs in the Indonesia and Thailand. Okay, we talk about the creative campus. How is the application of the creative economy on campus? In Indonesia alone, several campuses have implemented creative economy programs on campus. One of them is the Amicom campus. Amicom, this is not a national campus. The Amicom built a creative economy park. This is the area that managed to promote an innovation based on the use of creativity imagination to increase value at Amicom University Yogyakarta. ACEP is a creative economy ecosystem that has collaborate with the companies in Silicon Valley and Hollywood. The park comprise film, animation museum, radio, TV, gaming, advertising, design, software development, investment consulting, and project design companies into a single unit. And in the Republic of Korea, the Korea government is working to transform the country economy for another country of success. Ultimately, rising employment, the GDP, and Korea's place, in the world. In order to do this, the government is supporting talented entrepreneur and promising startup to turn Korea and Pangyo Creative Economy Valley into a global startup hub in Asia. So, like we know, the top ranking 16 firms selected by the accelerator will be invited to stay in Korea to participate a third 0.5-month accelerating program in Pangyo, located in the of Seoul. At the end of the acceleration program, the government will host a demo day to select top 13 startup. This startup will get additional financial incentive, and if they choose to establish their business in Korea, they will get additional support from the government. And America, there is a 3-point. America's non-profit in the creative economy, especially in art industry, generates, according to the many literature and many sites, that they are about 166.2 billion in economic activity every year, resulting in the 29.6 billion US dollar in the federal, state, and local tax revenue. The second, the creative sector employ 13.8 million American, or 13% of all employed people. In the 2004, American donate more than 13.99 billion US dollar to the art, talk, individual giving, estate, foundation, and corporation. More than half of U.S. adult participate in the culture tourism. In the 2002, culture tourists spend an average of 166 US dollar more per trip than tourists not participating in cultural activities. And in fiscal year 2008, state art agency invest about 195.6 million US dollar in creating and sustaining art infrastructure and communities across the nation. So that we can take the conclude is the creative economy is a most important focus that the government must do it to rise their economy. Maybe this is from me. There is a word change is happening faster than ever before. Except that adapt to it and go with the flow. It makes everything a lot easier. Okay, that is for me. Thank you so much. I will back to moderator.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ramdan Ali Razali, sir. Thanks for such a amazing. We are obliged to you for your marvelous presentation and giving us your valuable time. This session will be very effective for our audience because you have shared your intelligible knowledge with us. Thanks for enlightening us with your pearls of wisdom and story. Thank you for your contribution and thank you for your precious time from your chalk block timetable and your knowledge will be very effective for our audience because you shared your insight. No doubt our viewers will be benefited today by the awareness they received through your techniques. What a lovely and super presentation and interesting story. I believe you to be able to give beautiful insight on this topic. And the participant got the important takeaways from this session. Thank you so much for your valuable time and sharing your knowledge with today evening. It's a time to move on for our next speaker. Before moving to our next speaker, I want to introduce about myself. Today's for the evening session, I'm the host, Chetana TV. An assistant professor from Mechanical Department at the College Horizon College of Engineering. My basically background. So I'm one of the member of Institution of Global Professionals. So from I have almost 6 to 7 years so far experience in Thank you for being with us in IGP and sharing your knowledge with IGP, sir. Thank you so much for Ramdan Razali, sir, from Indonesia. Thank you, sir. Let's move on to the next speaker of today's evening. So before moving to the next session, please once again I will remind you, please share and comment in your chat box and collect your e-certificate direct from our website, that is www.eduigp.com. After collecting your e-certificate, please don't forget to celebrate with IGP by check-in. Okay, fine. The next we'll move on to the next speaker, that is our last speaker is Sufyan Suri, sir, who is he is a lecturer in the science of the Quran and interpretation department at the faculty of Azluddin Adab and Taqwa FUADIN Laxwame, as a graduated from bachelor degree in sciences of the Quran and interpretation at Al Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt in 2007, and he completed a master's in the same field of science and Amadam University, Khartoum, Sudan in 2013. He has been a lecturer since 2008, active in guiding the community as a teacher in the field of religious sciences. Today's topic is study on the sciences of Quran and interpretation. So I would like to welcome Sir Sufyan Suri, sir, to the IGP webinar. Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
You can start.
Okay, moment share addressnya. I have a trouble. You hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
What I can do today? This I have a trouble, Miss. Can you help me? What is a trouble? I don't know. You hear me and see my camera?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay.
You are
Okay.
visible and audible. You can
Yes.
proceed, sir.
Okay, ready? You see my presentations? Excuse me, you see my presentations? This
Exactly.
can begin? Excuse me, you heard my voice?
Yeah, your voice is audible and you are also visible. So make your presentation in full screen.
Oh, in full screen. Okay, like this. All right.
No, not yet. So make it
Not yet.
first.
Oh, moment. Excuse me. Moment. Like this. You see?
It's
Full
visible, but
screen.
not in presentation mode. Please make it share. Make it slide share mode.
Shares. This is shares.
You already shared in trial. Just make it. Yeah, at the bottom part. At the bottom part. No. Yeah, make it full screen. Maximize it. Maximize it.
I
Yeah, at the bottom.
maximize.
Yeah, at the bottom. Oh, sir, maximize it. Maximize, and at the bottom part you can see a slideshow option. So click on that, and you can also click F5. Yeah, click on that. Click on that. Yeah. Now you can continue.
Okay, ready, sir?
Yeah, ready. Yeah.
Okay, continue. You see me?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, thank you for this events, and I will begin with name of Allah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah. Praise be to Allah who have given us the opportunity today. May we always be in His protections and in good health during this pandemics. Salah and salam we praise to the Prophet Muhammad and his family and companions and all his followers. Next, I would like to thank those all have put their trust me in this meeting and to all who have participated in this great events. Hopefully, I can benefit us all. In this topic, I want to explain a little about the Quran and the science needed to explain the Quran is namely tafsir. Okay. This topic I study the science of the Quran and interpretations. Next. Okay, let's go to the topic, namely is the Al-Quran. We can see here the meaning of the Al-Quran. The first from the Muhammad Ali al-Sabuni said, هو كلام الله المنزل على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين بواسطة الأمير جبريل عليه السلام المكتوب في المصاحف المنقول إلينا بالتواتر المتعبد بتلاوته المبدوء بسورة الفاتحة والمختتم بسورة الناس. The Quran is the word from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has based on the last prophets and Rasul, the angel Jibril alayhi salam, which is written in the Mus'haf and reaches us by way of tawatur, narrated by many people. Reading it in a form of worship that began with the letter Surah Al-Fatiha and end with the letter Surah An-Nas. The second definition from the Abdul Azim Al-Zarkani, he said, هو كلام المعجز المنزل على النبي محمد المكتوب في المصاحف المنقل إلينا بالتواتر المتعبد بتلاوته. It's Al-Quran is a kalam word that contain miracle that was sent down to the Prophet Muhammad, written in the Mus'haf and reaches us by way of tawatur, narrated by many people, and reading is a worship. From the two definitions of the Quran, furnished by Ali As-Sabuni and Az-Zarqani, is given us an idea of the characteristic of Al-Quran as follows. The first, Al-Quran is Kalamullah, the word of God. B, contain miracles. C, delivered to the Prophet Muhammad. D, delivered by the angel Jibril. E, written in the Mus'haf. F, delivered with mutawatir or delivered with mutawatir. G, reading is worship. H, begin with the letter of Surah Al-Fatiha and ending with the letter Surah An-Nas. So, content of the Qurans. The first is Tawheed. Only God is one, that is Allah. The second about the universe. The next about human growth and development. After that about stories of prophet, righteous people, past humans. Next about the orders and prohibition, and the last about promise and treat. Okay, we see the first about the Tawheed. We know is science of Tawheed, the Quran. In the Quran, the science of Tawheed is one of the science that discusses the oneness of Allah, that the owner of the creator of heaven and earth is the only is of deserve to be worshipped and should not be taken for granted. There is no partner for him, and only him should human ask for help and forgiveness. This is the meaning of the Tawheed. The second, about the universe. The universe is God's creations, which is managed by God's will, and care. Allah created the universe, which an orderly arrangements in the aspect of biology, physics, chemistry, and geology, along of the principle of science. The definition of the universe itself is everything that exists in human and outside themselves, which is unique and mysterious unified system. According to the view of the Al-Quran, the creation of the universe can be seen in many verses of the Quran, all of which show that Allah created the universe in very orderly manner and can be proven by the modern science. So after that, about the human growth and development. We say about the human growth and development in the Quran is clearly explained that there are several stages of development that are passed before becoming a complete human being, from the process of developing fetus, embryos, babies, children, to old age and death. And about human development in living life in the world to achieve happiness in this world and in the hereafter. So, the fourth, about the stories of prophet, righteous people, the past humans. Al-Quran as a guide for humans, which give a message and advice to humans to become a good persons. Amongst the method of the Quran in giving message and advice, it is stories contained in the Quran. The Quran which tell us many stories, and stories is proven and true, not fairy tales and fantasies, such as regarding in the journey of the prophets and messengers, righteous people, people who violate the rule of God, so that they are destroyed by their own mistake. Also, like humans at that time, who has very touching to read and for study. So after that, order and about the order and prohibition. About the order and prohibitions, the Quran contain the order and prohibition for the safety of human life in this world and hereafter. All order and prohibition that have been imposed on human, if human follow and run the way, there will be good wisdom for one's life. For example, the command to worship. By worshiping the Creator, we will form it into a good and obedient human being. Will avoid defiant behavior and persecuting others, as well as the prohibition of stealing. For example, we protect the right and dignity of others, so that a peacefully and comfortable life we will create it. The last about the promise and treat. In the Quran, Allah give a clear example of promise and treat to all humans. For example, Allah give a promise to get happiness in this world and the hereafter for those who do good deed and worship Him. As we see in the letter on Nisa, verse 124. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِنَ الصَّالِحَاتِ مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَأُولَٰئِكَ يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ وَلَا يُظْلَمُونَ نَقِيرًا. Whoever does a good job to worship, whether male or female, well, he is a believer, that they will enter the paradise and they will not be wrong in the slightest. This is content of the Al-Quran. So after that, position, authority, greatness, and function of the Al-Quran. The first introduction for all mankind. Introduction for all mankind. This function is the main function in the Al-Quran functions. There is instruction are religious instructions, or what is commonly referred to as we say as a Sharia. A Sharia. In this contain rules that can be done and cannot be done by humans, with the hope the human can achieve happiness in this world and hereafter. That is the instruction for all mankind. And the second, the main source of Islamic teachings. The main source of Islamic teachings, as the main source of Islamic teaching, the Al-Quran not only contain teaching related to human relation with God, but also contain teaching on social economics, to that moral, education, about the culture, about the politics, and so on. Thus, the Al-Quran can be way of life for all men, for all mankind. The last proof of the truth of the Prophet Muhammad. We see here proof of the truth of the Prophet Muhammad. Al-Quran as a strong advice. It's as a strong evidence of truth of the Prophet Muhammad, and the same time is proof of the information or instruction below are really from Allah. And it is fighting for a messenger to be given a book as a guide in regulation in human life on this earth. Okay, we talk about the second or the chapter 2 about the study of Al-Quran. It means our interpretation of Al-Quran. It means in Arabic language is a tafsir, or it means interpretation of the Al-Quran. It is. This is slide. The first Abdul Azim Az-Zarqani said about the meaning or interpretation of the Al-Quran. The first is Al-Quran. The second is interpretation of Quran. After we can to meaning it about Al-Quran, so we must to know about the interpretation of the Al-Quran. Abdul Azim Az-Zarqani said the interpretation of Al-Quran is in Arabic ilmun yu'rafu bihi fahmul kitabillah al-munazzal ala nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa bayani ma'anihi wa istikhraj ahkamihi wa hukmihi. It's knowledge to understand the book of Allah, reveal it to his Prophet Muhammad, and explain its meaning and issue law and wisdom. The second definition from Manna al-Qattan, he said, علم يبحث فيه عن القرآن الكريم من حيث دلالته على مراد الله تعالى بقدر الطاقة البشرية. The science that studied the Al-Quran from the side of its instructions to find out what Allah Ta'ala mean according the human ability. Okay, before we next this ini we can take a meaning from from Abdul Azim Az-Zarqani and Al-Ma'na Al-Qattan. We said the two definitions above are basically the same from between Abdul Azim and Al-Ma'na Al-Qattan. From the above definitions, it shows that the science of the Quran and interpretation or study al-Quran is a collection of a number of discourse that have to do with the Quran in terms of meanings. Law contain the Al-Quran that can be interpreted learning by human according with the capability of human themselves. So after that, we know about type of interpretations. The first, interpretation of the Quran by the Quran. Interpretation of the Al-Quran by the Al-Quran. We see one of the best way to see the interpretation of one verse in the Quran is interpret the verse with the another verse. And this is the best way to interpret the Quran, because law in the one verse is explained in the another verse, and this method occupies the number one position in the way of interpreting of the Al-Quran. As we see in the Surah Al-Baqarah, we said Alif Lam Mim Dhalikal Kitabu la rayba fihi hudan lil muttaqin in the verse 2. Interpreted with the following verse in the first three until 5. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. There is meaning of interpreted of the Quran, interpretation of the Quran by the Quran. The second, interpretations of the Quran by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It means hadith or sunnah is the second sort of Islamic law after the Quran. The first Quran, the second hadith. There is no dispute about this view. Hadith become an explanation for the verse of the Quran that Muslims do not fully understand, because the verse of the Quran not only contain verses that qat'i, it means qat'i bil Arabi, clear and detailed, but many are dhanni, failure and unclear. So that explanation it need to be understood. One example we say in praying or prayer, many verses in the Quran that explain the comment to the prayer. However, how the prayer was performed, it was explained in detail. From here, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained how the prayer should be done. And he said, "Pray as you see me praying. Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli." This hadith is narrated by Al-Bukhari. So the third, interpretation of the Quran by the companion of the prophets. By companions of the prophets. In the history of Islam, after the death of the Prophet, our Prophet Muhammad, the companion become the sort of the people to ask various questions in the Quran. Many of the companion of the Prophet who had the ability to interpret the verse of the Quran, such as Ibn Abbas, Abdullah bin Mas'ud, Aisha binti Abi Bakar, and others. The companion who interpret the Quran are known as people who have very strong faith in Islam. Also, because they left at the time the Quran was revealed. They also always accompanied the Prophet, so that they understood the basic secret of the decline of the Quran. Al-Quran also know the meaning and law contained in the Al-Quran. The last, the interpretation of the Quran by the Tabi'in. It means the Tabi'in is a follower of the Prophet companions. In this topics, different opinion of the scholar regarding to the interpretation of the Tabi'in as sort of Islam. The first sort is Quran, the second Hadith, the third Sahaba, and the fourth is very a different opinion from the scholars regarding. Some of them said that the Tabi'in interpretation could not be used as a sort of law because they were not the time of contemporary of the revelations, did not witness the situation and condition and experience by the companion of the Prophet. Then they may make a mistake in the understanding what the Al-Quran wants. In addition, their personal quality, there is not a guarantee in the Quran or Hadith, which is a cause of different from the companion of the prophets. Other are the opinion that the opinion is from the Tabi'in. The fact of interpretation is recognized, and their opinion are maybe taken because generally they accept this opinion from the companion of the prophets. Next, kind of interpretations. Kind of interpretation. The first interpretation by source. Here two kinds. The first tafsir bil ma'sur and the second tafsir bil ra'i. Tafsir bil ma'sur, interpretation by quoting or taking reference from the Al-Quran. It is interpretation of the Quran which is done by interpreting the Al-Quran with the Al-Quran, by interpreting the Quran with a Sunnah Nabawiyah, and interpreting the verses of the Quran with a kalam, opinion of the companion of the Prophet, as well the opinion of the Tabi'in according to same opinions. This means the tafsir bil ma'sur. The second, tafsir bil ra'i. The first tafsir bil ma'sur. The second tafsir bil ra'i. Bil ra'i, we may be the idea. The methods of tafsir bil ra'i, or we said in Arabic bil diraya, is to interpret the verse of the Quran based on the ijtihads of the interpreter by using logic, reason, and making reason as the main basic. Logic, reasons, logic reason is a commendable logic in accordance with the prophets that have been seen for the accepting the interpretation, not despicable logic. It's logic if we logic commendable and logic despicable logic. This is tafsir bil ma'sur bil ra'i. It means recommendable logic. Two, interpretation based on the method explanation is four kinds. The first tafsir ijmali, tafsir tahlili, tafsir mawdu'i, and tafsir muqarin. We see first tafsir ijmali. Ijmali interpretations, it means in short and global way. Ijmali interpretation is a method interpretation that was first used by the Prophet Muhammad to interpret the Al-Quran in the short and a global way. This method is used so that the message contained in the verses of the Quran can be understood easily by a Muslim. The second, tafsir tahlili. The tahlili interpretations, it means method is the tahlili interpretation method is a method of interpreting of the Quran by describing in detail in interpret verse, which explain the histories of the revelation of the self, describe the verse, its vocabularies, the overall meaning of the verse, the opinion of the interpreter, to the source of law or all on others. This is very much in the second kind of interpretation based on the methods explanation. The third, tafsir al-mawdu'i. Al-mawdu' it means them. Mawdu'i interpretations or thematic interpretation is a type of interpretation of the Al-Quran which aim to interpret the verse of the Quran by compiling and searching for verses related to the search terms. So this interpretation can be said to be a thematic interpretation. It's a tema with mawdu' tema. The last is tafsir al-muqarin. Tafsir al-muqarin. Al-muqarin interpretation is a type of interpretation that seek to explain the verse of the Quran by comparing the verse of the Quran between some of them with the others. Maybe I stop here my presentations that I can explain at this meeting. Hopefully I can benefit us all or your attention. I thank you, and I hope you and our us be a success. Then I leave to moderator for this event. Thank you so much for your attention to our friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sufyan sir. You have given very knowledgeable regarding the religion, the science of Quran and its interpretation. It was a wonderful evening, and you are sharing the knowledge of the Quran, how it is interpreted, and all everything you have shared with IGP members. Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
your valuable time so much.
Apologize.
Thank you, Sufyan sir. uh, for this we expect that you all are getting a little bit of benefited in personal and professional life, and we wish that you all are remaining with us in a long journey so that we can support with IGP family. You can get the knowledge, you can benefit it through this. Thank you so much, sir. uh,
Thank you so much.
so please don't forget to like and comment the IGP sessions, and in the chat box you have to like. So join the quiz with us, and please don't forget to collect your certificates through IGP www.igp. That from website you need to collect your certificates as latest. Even if you have missed the session, you will be getting through IGP, Institution of Global Professionals, just for getting the knowledge. The webinars that they have conducted worldwide, it is very helpful, and the information that you are getting through IGP is beneficial. Please stay home, be safe, and get the knowledge, acquire the knowledge wherever it is possible. Thank you. Thanks for the wonderful evening, and join for the quiz now. For the quiz, you need to go for this www.slido.com, and the code is 111 and 11. So totally 5 ones you need to type it. So immediately join for the quiz. So today's for this evening, myself Chetana, I'm hosting from India. Myself from Karnataka. I work for New Horizon College of Engineering as an assistant professor. So this is a good platform to sharing the knowledge with countrywide. This is a very good option for me to share with my knowledge everything over here. So please join for the quiz now. And our next webinar will be on June 8th. That is the topic on teachers' role in 21st century learning. That is on 6 p.m. So we need to follow the timings of this. Please join with us for the next webinar, and don't forget to celebrate your e-certificates with IGP family. Tag in, share, like, and comment. and tag your friends also. Please benefited by this. And congratulations for the today's winner for this quiz competition. So let us move on to the quiz. The first question is, which practice is not a key approach in research that supports the intelligence research reform agenda? The first option is collaborative research. The second option is participatory research. And the third is special. So I'm getting the good answers. And the third option is specialized research. And fourth is multidisciplinary research. So few people gave 20% collaborative research, and the second option participatory research, that is 23%, they have opted for this. And the correct answer is going to be specialized research. So those who have opted for this answer is the correct one. So total 29% have won. So the second option. So we'll move on to the next question. Which of the following is a way or ways to decolonize research involving first people? The first option is using intelligence methods. Second option is ensuring the research in explanatory rather than explanatory. Third option is using qualitative methods. And the fourth option is all answers are correct. Please opt. Okay, fine. Some people have opted 21% using intelligence methods. Some have opted 12%, that is ensuring the research in explanatory rather than explanatory. So the first answer is going to be correct using indigenous methods, that is 21% of people have opted for this question. Congratulations who have opted for this answer. Thank you. And we'll move on to the next question. What is the name of the research facility where would Wide Web was invented? First option is Stanford, second option is MIT, third option is CERN, and the fourth one is Frankfurt State. So please give me the answer for this question. What is the name of the research facility where would World Wide Web was invented? Oh, fine. First answer, they have given maximum 48%. The answer is Stanford, they have opted. And second, MIT, they have given 24%. So few people have opted for the last option. So correct answer is CERN. Congratulations who have opted for this question. Next, we'll move on to the next question. Congratulations those who have opted the right answer for this. The next question. Next, we'll move on to the next question. A laboratory established the intelligence research methodology. What are the three guiding principles? The first option is recognized rally reform. Second option is restrained policy development committee meetings. Third option, they have selected more than 74% people, they have selected this answer, but the answer is resistance, political integrity, privileging intelligence voices. Congratulations who you have selected fourth answer. Thank you. Next question is, dash research means putting the politics of intelligence identity at the center. Jilava is the first option, second is indigenous, third option is decolonizing, and the fourth option is Dadri. Come on guys, please give vote for the next question. Okay, the correct answer is indigenous. The correct answer is 30% of people. The answer is decolonizing. Congratulations for got the fifth question as the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. People have voted for all of the answers are correct. The correct answer is going to be the first option. Indigenous people set priorities for what's researched and how. This is the right answer for this facilitate development approach to research indigenous people. Next, we'll move on to the next question. In indigenous research, approaches should aim to dash research participants. The options are listed below: explore, conceptualize. Third option is operationalize, and fourth option is empower. So please vote for the correct answer. The last option is the correct one, that is fourth option. Fourth answer. Congratulations for the first, second, and third. If you have any kind of issues with certifications, please review or comment on our page. If you learn something or we help you a little bit, don't forget to collect your certificates and obviously give a check-in with IGP. Please don't forget to tag or like, comment on the chat box. I'm confident and positive that you might have gained pickup and learn something new today. which you will be sure in your life for your career growth. My worthy viewers, I would now request you all please leave a review for the today's session. Please don't forget to give a review sessions and also recommend in our page. If you learn something from us and we were a little help to you all today, and also request to something from us to spread the knowledge of e-certificates. Don't forget to share your certificates with IGP family. Hello? Participants, please select your certificates. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your wonderful speeches for today's session. Ramdan, sir. Sufyan, sir, you have given very good information about the religion, about the Quran and its interpretation. It was a very nice talk from you. Even Ramdan or Azali, sir, you have given best of your knowledge with us. You have shared everything. Thanks for giving your time with us for the IGP. This Almera ma'am also given her shared very good knowledge with us today. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful session for today's evening. Uh, So, for regarding today's program name is Multidisciplinary Research on Social Science and Islamicpreneurship, and the certification link is at.
But still no question in the comment section. I don't know what's the reason. Still no question appear in the comment section. Dear participants, if you have any question, then you can ask to our speakers. Our all speakers are ready to deliver your answer. And at the same time, you can check the certification process also. I saw that based on your participation and comments, you don't have any question. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All are rating by thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing more. So that is one is that. First, congratulations to first, second, third of quiz competition winner. It's a request that please contact with our page inbox with your full name that we can issue the certificate immediately. Can people of other religions benefit from this webinar? Why not? Sir, anyone can, if you want, then you can answer it too. Okay, that's today's program name, certification link, instructions, that is which you already shared into comment section. Instruction certificate code not required. Certification link now available in comment box and also pin comment. Just give me a moment. I also shared into comment section, so no problem about that. Just I will pin it to comment box. Yeah, also pinned into comment section, and you can download it from our website also, so no problem about that. If you are not able to click this link, please browse www.eduigp.com, which is easy way and easy process for certification. If you are new, then you have to create your account. If you have account, then you don't need to create another one. Just log in and claim your certificate. So this is the way. And we have two core volunteer in our comment section, so you can also ask them. Okay, Calvin and Janet, they are always ready to support you, so you can also ask them, no problem. Thank you so much for today's session. Thank you so much. I'm not getting the link to download certificate. Yeah, because you joined through the share live, so no problem. Just browse www.eduigp.com. On you can find today's topic, and after that you can claim your certificate. If you want, then you can also take a screenshot of your screen right now. Then after program, you can also implement, no problem. And this is the process. At the same button, you can find it enroll now. And when you are able to click on enroll and able to get enroll, then on that time at the same button you will face get your certificate. This is the look like our certificates. Um, So this is for today. Thank you so much, and thank you all speakers who are still waiting for questions, but no question appearing in the screen in comment section. We are sorry for that. Still waiting for question, but no problem. Thank you so much, dear sir and ma'am. Salma, you may continue.
Okay, thank you so much, Jack.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Zach.
Thank you so much
Okay,
for all
Thank
our
you.
participants. Thank you so much.
thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you next
Thank you, sir.
time.
Thank you, ma'am. See you, ma'am.
Okay.
See you.
See you next
See you
time,
next
Bye.
time.
Mr. Zach.
Thank you so
See
much
you.
for giving.
Thank you so much. Stay happy, stay safe, and dear knowledge
Oh,
seeker,
Jack.
I would love to
I,
thank you all of my deep heart for attending today's sessions. Hopefully, you learned something new and you will implement it in your life. Please leave a review, recommend on our page if you learned something or we help you a little bit. Don't forget to collect each certificate and obviously give a check in with IGP. Please spread the information with your friends. We hope to see you all again. Thank you so much. Stay happy, stay safe, and signing out. Bye bye.